Max Steel. Oh God. Max Steel is a new movie based off of the popular Max Steel action figure. In Max Steel, there's a teenager who starts getting all these weird powers after his father dies from mysterious circumstances. He meets this amnesiac robot, and then there are these people after them, and then they discover that when they bond, they can form Max Steel, apparently. This cybernetic superhero with a whole bunch of powers and a whole bunch of shit. There's evil people after them. There's evil people that want to use the power for their own, you've seen this before. 2016 just keeps fucking me right in the ass. It's the gift that keeps on giving me cinematic AIDS, I swear to God. Watching this movie, I felt like a goddamn mood ring. I was just jumping all the way back and forth between emotions. Half the time I wanted to cry, half the time I wanted to laugh, half the time I wanted to die of boredom and go to sleep. Half the time I felt so angry I wanted to throw my fries at the screen. A clusterfuck of epic proportions. Let's start with the acting. It's shit. The acting's complete shit. The main character in this movie is so bland, boring, uninteresting. Stiffer than a hard dick on an ironing board. Seriously. He's a milk carton without any milk in it. He's unsweetened tea. He's just flavorless in every single scene. I've never seen somebody have basically the same facial expression the entire movie. There's no reason to root for him. There's no reason to like his character. There's no reason to care. He's this teenage kid who doesn't know about his dad's death, and then he starts getting these powers, and then that's really the only interesting thing about him in the movie, is the fact that he gets these powers. He's basically like a pot of macaroni with no ingredients, no cheese, no butter, no flavoring, no nothing. His acting in this movie is the equivalent of wet noodles. Hey, everyone else in the movie is pretty shitty too. The only reason I wasn't rooting for the villain in the end of the movie is because he was just as shitty as the main hero. The dialogue? Dialogue in this movie made me want to throw up in my own mouth. Shakespeare rolling over his goddamn grave listening to this shit. I'm not kidding when I say this. The dialogue in this movie approaches Batman and Robin levels of awful. Let's talk about Steel, by the way. Steel is that robot that comes in and is connected to him and tries to protect him, and they try to turn the robot in this movie into like comic relief. That's really all he is. He's just a comic relief robot. He's really sarcastic. He's really a smart ass. I'll be honest, there was one scene where I chuckled and it was kind of like, outside of that, he is annoying as shit. This annoying ass robot that conveniently lost his memory and can't remember anything about the night that his father died. They do this dumbass Jason Bourne thing where they just have them randomly remembering shit half all the way through the movie. Of course they had to make the robot conveniently lose his fucking memory, because then the movie would be over after 30 or 40 minutes. And this robot, I gotta tell you, he was probably a mix between Jar Jar and Ninja from Chappie. Hey, Chappie, come on, you gotta be a gangster, Chappie. You gotta point your gun like this. Point it like a gangster, Chappie. Ninja. Outside of that one scene where I chuckled, I was just kind of like, Jar Jar, can you shut the fuck up, please? You're not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. This movie fails in every aspect. Comedy, acting, drama, romance. This movie has one of the worst Anakin Padme Twilight romances that I have ever seen. The girl chick in this movie that has a crush on Max when he first moves to this town with his mom, one of the worst written female characters that I've ever seen in my life. She comes across as so thirsty and so desperate. I'm just kind of like, you have nothing other to do in your life, you fucking slut, than follow this dude all around all day? Literally, that's all she does. She follows him and she runs into him everywhere, and she's always trying to get him to hang out with her for no reason whatsoever, just because, I don't know, he's kind of hot, I guess. I'm gonna spoil something and I don't give a fuck. You're stop it. You're not going to see this movie. You're not gonna see this movie, so I have no problem spoiling this. If you are gonna see this movie, that just proves that you don't give a fuck about this review anyway, so why the fuck who cares? Okay, so in this movie, these guys are after him and Steel. Steel decides to hold these guys off so that Max can get away. Max once again runs into this chick in her truck, tells the girl that he's trying to get to a place that's 20 miles outside of the city where they're in, this laboratory where he's hoping to find some information. The chick goes, okay, yeah, go ahead, hop in. I'm just sitting there in the theater like, bitch, are you serious? Wait, he didn't even offer you gas money? You gonna drive his ass up there? Really? He ain't giving you no dick. He ain't taking you out on a date. He didn't offer you gas money. Do you know how thirsty you look right now. She looks like she's just dying in the Sahara Desert right now without a Sprite. That's how thirsty this chick comes off as. Oh, by the way, the main villain in this movie, played by Andy Garcia, yeah, you can see that he's going to be the villain of the movie from the first moment that you meet him. He first comes into the movie, he's like a friend of Max's dad's, and he keeps talking about how great his father was. Yeah, he's gonna be the main villain of the movie. And they just told me that. Thanks. You knew what was coming. You knew I was gonna shit all over this movie. You knew what was happening as soon as the supers popped up, and I didn't say a goddamn thing. A terrible main character who's a wimp, a punk, and a bitch. Has terrible, awful dialogue. It has a horrible romance, and it spends most of the movie with exposition and explaining who Max Steel is, instead of us actually getting to see Max Steel. Guys, Max Steel, yeah, it's a quest for peacetime at the movies, but you knew that already. People out there that are actually excited about the action figure, stay far away. If you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace. Fuck Max Steel. Peace.